Hi everyone, Grant for the Flame Learning channel. One of the many small improvements in Flame 2023.2 is a couple of automated functions to make your life even easier. In this video, you'll touch on automatic batch durations, as well as automatic durations when setting up render and write file nodes. Typically, when you go into a new batch group for the first time, the default duration is always 100 frames. Normally, the next step would be to manually enter your duration to match a clip, or T-click the clip to copy the duration. With Flame 2023.2, this process has been automated. Simply by dragging the first clip into the batch group, the batch duration will automatically set itself to the length of the first clip. So this automation is always based on the first clip imported into a new batch group. This also applies if the first clip was imported using the import node in batch. Any clips you import after the first one will not change the batch duration. The only time the duration will automatically update again is if you either clear all the source clips or clear the batch group from the context menu. Adding the first source clip again will update the batch duration. Now, if you prefer to manually set the batch duration, you can still enter the frame length in the duration field or T-click a source clip to set the duration. You will see an indication appear, which signifies that you manually set the batch duration. You can control-click the duration field, which will reset the duration to the length of the first clip. But if you leave it manually set, the duration will no longer automatically update unless you clear the batch group and start again. Finally, for those of you who write Python scripts, it is no longer mandatory to specify a batch duration when you create a new batch group, as Flame automatically sets the duration on the first imported clip using your script. Another automation enhancement has to do with the render range of the render node and the write file node. In Flame 2023.2, the default render range setting is automatically set to the duration of the batch setup. Now you may think that this is not new. However, looking at the render range settings, the range is set to setup. This means that both the render and write file node are always monitoring the batch duration. So if you were to change the duration of batch, the render range of both types of nodes will adjust to match. With this new default behavior, you should not need to second-guess yourself if you are always wanting to render or write the entire length of your batch group. If you want to set your own render range, just change the mode to custom and then dial in the start and end frames. Finally, if you are working with multiple render and write nodes, you can switch to the render list and adjust the individual render range settings of each output. Please subscribe to the Flame Learning channel and click the bell to be notified for future videos. Comments, feedback and suggestions are always welcome and appreciated. And thanks for watching.